I just got this Thomas Pacconi little Christmas house. It's really cute. I found it at my local Goodwill, and it had a problem with it, and I had to repair it. So I want to make a short video describing how I did that. So it is now repaired. I'm going to go ahead and turn it on. I've dismantled it as well, so it's already in that state, but I'll describe everything I did here. So the problem that I had was one of these fireplace lights. Actually, there were two problems. One of the fireplace lights wasn't lighting up. It was substantially dimmer than the other one. I had another problem. I didn't realize that the fireplace itself was not lighting up. So I took it apart, and taking it apart was relatively straightforward. The top of the, when it's assembled, there's a record player on top, and that's just got 4 screws, and you can take those screws out, and then this will basically lift out. You want to be a little bit careful because these wires, there are wires that drive the motor to play the record while it's turned on, and you don't want to damage those. They just have a little, I don't know what you call this kind of connector, but this is a pretty standard wire connector for this very low gauge wire. And then this back panel will also can easily slide in and slide out. So I'm going to take this out and set it up top, which is where I kept it for its repair. Okay. First, I noticed that the light for the fireplace, it was just kind of bent. It was up at an angle. I'm not sure how that happened. As I said, I got this from Goodwill, so I don't know its history. But it was not illuminating the fireplace. If this LED is up here, this LED obviously is supposed to flash to kind of create the flickering fireplace. If it's up here, it's not shining through the fireplace. You don't get it illuminated. But these lights that were on these are not the original lights. These are the lights I replaced it with. The little LEDs that are going into the lamps, one of mine was just not working very well. So I used the voltmeter a little bit to test the continuity, see that everything was working. Everything looked pretty fine. The power is coming up from these guys that's powering both this LED that flashes in the fireplace and these 2 LEDs for the lamps. And I just needed a new LED. So I happen to have already purchased a set of 125 little tiny LEDs here from Amazon. I believe this is the product number, if it's still available, if you want to order it from Amazon, but something like this is probably going to be available. These came in multiple colors. I've got green, red, golden yellow, there's blue, and some other colors in there. So these lights, I'll pull one of these out. They come with a set of resistors, depending on your power supply. I did not need to use any of the resistors, which is thankful because I don't want to have to figure out how to do that calculation right now. But this is what one of the golden yellow LEDs looks like. These are a lot smaller than the LEDs that were in this little light set. I think this is a newer technology maybe. This light set, this device looks like it comes from 2010 or maybe a little bit earlier. It's not old, but it's not brand new. So these little LEDs, these are really slick. You can use these for different kinds of crafts. I'm going to turn this off to turn off the whirring. These little LEDs are slick. I bought them to use for projects with Lego. I wanted to light up like the Lego Christmas tree and some things like that. So it's just got a positive side, and you can test it. You can test it with a 3-volt battery, like so. I'm not really a professional YouTuber, sorry. And they light up very nicely. And to use these, I use the golden yellow because that's probably the best color. The thing that it's inside of is yellow, but the golden yellow is probably going to accentuate the color a little bit more, I suppose. I snipped off the original connectors with the LEDs that were running in here. There was hot glue that was adhesing the supply wire to the LED and holding it in place as the LED was bent going into the little light fixture on both of the lights. So I broke off the glue, and then I snipped off from the supply wire, leaving as much of the supply wire as possible, the original LED. And then I just took these new LEDs and soldered them on, twisted them on, soldered them on, and then I used hot glue similar to what was there originally to connect it kind of in place, holding it in place inside the fixture, and holding these in place so they don't make a connection or, whatever. But now I can reassemble this. This guy slides in place. I don't want to leave that wire extending into the living room down there. Pull that back out. It's got a little slot it goes into at the bottom of the house. Pretty good. There's this plastic thing that the records fit inside of that it plays. That's got some little guides in the back that it will slide into. This is a little hard to get in. Make sure I got the dusty side. Yeah, that's the dusty side, so that's the side that was down. Okay, now one side's going in. Well, this might actually take two hands to get in. I might not. No, okay, I got it. Get that in, slide that guy back down in place. That's good. The top of the house, there's a light here that illuminates the top of the house, and there's a groove on this as well, and there's a little line there that those wires should come out through. So try and set that in place. I don't think I've quite got that in. Let's see. Looking up at the top here, it does not look like that's quite seated. So I'm gonna work with that a little bit. I'm gonna use both hands to get that in place. But once that's done, I will then screw the 4 screws back on top, reassemble this, and then we'll have my house working with all the lights. So it looks pretty good. The lights in the Christmas tree would be very hard to replace. The motors of these little guys that are moving down here, I think would also probably be fairly hard to fix. Once this was taken apart, it looked like there's a couple more screws that could get down to the base section here to get to the additional lights, the additional motors. But man, I hope I never have to do that. The tree also really looks like it'd benefit from some more lights. I wish that the little top of the tree lit up, or maybe the little tiny, the little candles on the fireplace lit up. That'd be pretty neat, but that's never gonna happen, and this is much too delicate of a thing for me to try and install something like that in. But I breathed some new life into this. These are kind of expensive on eBay. I got it for just 20 bucks in my local Goodwill. So it seemed like a pretty good Christmas doodad, a deal that I got. And that's how I got it working again. So hope this is helpful to somebody. Have a good day. Bye.